Hi privacy friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Ksenia, privacy lawyer, mentor and author, helping people pass CIPP certifications without any stress. And if you are thinking about CIPP C, or maybe you have already signed up, don't panic. Today, I will show you exactly how to prepare to this exam step by step in the way that is clear, focused, and actually works. So what is CIPP-C? It is the Canadian Privacy Law certification from CIPP, designed to test your knowledge of Canadian privacy landscape, which namely is Federated Privacy Law, PIPEDA and Privacy Act, provincial privacy laws in Quebec, Alberta, and British Columbia, and public sector privacy rules, Privacy Act and similar legislation in the provinces. Also, you would have to look at medical privacy laws like Ontario CIPP and the real-world Office of Privacy Commissioner enforcement cases, which help you show how the law applies in practice. This is really great certification for everyone who is working with Canadian data, clients, or looking to build up their privacy career, because a lot of companies are right now expanding to Canada and they're interested in professionals who know the privacy landscape. And here is my honest advice. Don't buy the official guide for CIPP-C. Why? Because it's not great. It is one of the biggest issues my mentees and I have dealt with, that this book is really disorganized and jumpy. The content jumps around and makes it really hard to focus on what matters on the exam. And this is the reason why I wrote my own logical and deep study guide, which is also a textbook for this exam. Because, well, a lot of my mentees were struggling to prepare. My guide helps you stay focused on the key laws and concepts that are actually tested and prepares you for the real world. I have personally built privacy programs for businesses in Canada, so I know what matters beyond just passing a test. Inside you get clear, structured explanations, practical tips for applying privacy law at work, fully updated content, realistic practical questions. The guide is available on Amazon, and the link is in the description if you want to check it out. One of the first things my mentees ask, well, there's so many laws, how do I even start preparing? Here is how I recommend to stay focused. For the public sector, concentrate solely on Privacy Act and their rules, definitions, and obligations. For the private sector, focus not only on PIPEDA, but also on provincial privacy laws for British Columbia, Alberta, and Quebec. Great idea is to make a table comparing these laws. And for the medical sector, the most important is to focus on Ontario CIPP. So if you focus on your energy on these core acts, you will cover most of what exam tests, instead of getting lost trying to memorize every tiny detail from dozens of different laws. Now, here is an extra tip from me that really helps students hurdle scenario-based questions. Focus on the definitions and exemptions. It sounds basic, but it's very powerful. You make sure that you understand how personal information is defined in Privacy Act, in PIPEDA, in British Columbia, in Alberta, and Quebec privacy laws, which I have mentioned before, and in Ontario CIPP. What exemptions each of these laws gives you. And one more sneaky thing, pay attention how the parties are named in these laws for the scenarios. Because, for example, if the scenario questions in the CIPP-C test says federal institution, that usually means that you have to apply Privacy Act. If it says organization or commercial activity, think of PIPEDA. If it uses custodian, That's due to the fact that the question relates to FIPPA and health privacy. The word entity can indicate that probably they are talking about Quebec Act. So these little word and details are often how you figure out which law applies in this specific situation. And this makes huge difference because you will be getting the right answer. Trying to cram everything in one weekend, it's overwhelming. But trust me, I have seen that happen too. My advice is to divide your preparation into several weeks. Well, because you don't want only to pass the test, right? You want to be able to apply these laws. So in week 1, I recommend you to go into Canadian privacy basics and Privacy Act fundamentals, basically the public sector collection. In week 2, I recommend you to go to PIPEDA and real-world Privacy Commissioner enforcement cases. In week 3, you go to British Columbia, Alberta, and Quebec Acts. And in week 4, you go to health privacy and focus on Ontario Health Act. So step by step, this is how you build up real understanding and confidence, because this exam isn't just about theory. You would get theoretical questions and you will get scenario-based questions to test how do you apply the law. And the more realistic practice questions you do, the more confident you feel. That's why in my courses on Udemy, I have the practical tests and I have them also in the book. So enjoy preparing. Well, and think about the fact that I have seen even beginners manage CIPP. That means that you also can do that. How you can do that easier? Grab my updated study guide and practice tests inside on Amazon, or enroll in one of my best-selling courses, CIPP online course. Link with discount is in description. Both resources are tested by numerous students who have already passed and, which is more important for me, right now are practicing Canadian privacy laws. They are helping companies build compliance stress-free. And I'm always available for your questions on LinkedIn. Or here, if you have some questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm always there for my colleagues and my mentees. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell.